BJP-led NDA nominates former Jharkhand Governor Draupadi Murmu as its presidential candidate. UPA nominees is Yashwant Sinha. Political crisis deepens in Maharashtra. Rebel Shiv Sena leader Eknath Shinde now camping in Guwahati with MLAs on his side. Flood havoc continues in Assam and Meghalaya. Relief package on the cards, says Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma. Mizoram University declares results of undergraduate exams. And Meghalaya government to install statue of freedom fighter U Tirot Singh at Indian Embassy in Dhaka. A very good evening, viewers. Welcome to the Northeast News Bulletin. This is Ashutosh Sharma bringing to you the stories in detail. In national news first, former Jharkhand Governor Draupadi Murmu will be BJP-led NDA's candidate for the presidential polls. Briefing media after the BJP Parliamentary Board meeting in New Delhi, Party Chief JP Nadda said that for the first time, preference has been given to a woman tribal candidate. He said the BJP Parliamentary Board discussed 20 names for the presidential nominee and finally decided to pick someone from East India, a tribal and a woman. On the other hand, opposition parties named former Union Minister Yashwant Sinha as their common candidate for the upcoming presidential election. Voting for presidential election will be held on the 18th of next month. India and Australia today reviewed the existing defence cooperation activities which have been increasing despite challenges of COVID-19 pandemic. They discussed ways to enhance further cooperation. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and visiting Australian Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Defence Richard Marles held a bilateral meeting in New Delhi. During the meeting, they reviewed the defence and security pillars of the India-Australia Comprehensive Strategic Partnership. The two leaders reaffirmed their commitment towards implementation of Comprehensive Strategic Partnership. They decided to build upon operation engagements through the Indo-Australia Mutual Logistics Support Arrangement. Both the ministers committed to give a fillip to the India-Australia Joint Working Group on Defence Research and Material Cooperation.
India-Australia relations were elevated to comprehensive strategic partnership in June 2020 during the Prime Minister level summit meeting. Bilateral engagements have diversified across a wide range of cooperation areas from political exchanges to defence partnership.
The political crisis has deepened in Maharashtra. Uddhav Thackeray-led Maha Vikas Aghadi MVA government in the state is facing its worst crisis since coming in power in 2019. Senior Shiv Sena leader and state cabinet minister Eknath Shinde has rebelled against Uddhav Thackeray's leadership. Shinde has claimed the support of 40 Shiv Sena MLAs out of a total of 55 and took some of them to BJP-ruled Gujarat. They were shifted to Guwahati in Assam from Surat this morning. To circumvent the anti-defection law, Shinde will need two-thirds of the 55 Shiv Sena MLAs, which comes to 37 on his side. Meanwhile, Shiv Sena MLAs who are supporting Thackeray have been shifted to a hotel in Lower Parel near Mumbai to protect them from poaching. Speaking to reporters in Guwahati, Shinde today claimed that he has come to the capital of Assam with 40 MLAs and 10 more will soon be joining him. Shinde held a meeting with his fellow legislators in Guwahati this morning. In Afghanistan, more than 950 people have been killed and 600 other injured following an earthquake of magnitude 6.1 which hit Paktika province this morning. Disaster management officials said the toll is likely to grow as information trickles in from remote mountain villages. Interior Ministry official Salahuddin Ayubi said authorities have launched a rescue operation and helicopters are being used to reach the injured and take in medical supplies and food. Today's quake was the deadliest since 2002. The landlocked country's eastern province of Paktika was the most affected, with reports of significant damage from areas of Kian, Nakai, Barmal and Zarak. In Khost province, the area of Seprai also bore the brunt of early morning tremors. Moving on to the northeast now. In Assam, the flood situation has improved slightly in Brahmaputra Valley due to better weather conditions, and only the Brahmaputra and Kopili rivers are flowing above the danger level. However, the situation remains critical in the 3 districts of Barak Valley. Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma today undertook a train journey to visit Morigaon and Nagaon districts. In Chaparmukh, he interacted with a number of affected families. Earlier on Tuesday, he announced that the government will launch a portal soon for the flood-hit people to register their livestock loss and other damages so that the measures for compensation can be initiated. A flood relief package too will be announced shortly, he said. Assam has been reeling under devastating floods for the last 8 days. Over 55 lakh people have been affected. Altogether, 88 persons died and 35 people are missing.
ডেৰ দিনৰ খাদ্য পাইছে আৰু পাই যাব আপোনালোকে কিন্তু নাই পোৱা ক'ত নামকেইটা ক'লে মই ৰাতিয়ে শিমলুগুৰি পমিলা পাইছে এটা কাম কৰ খবৰ কৰি
On the other hand, in Meghalaya, Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma on Tuesday reviewed the worst-hit South Garo Hills district, where road communication through National Highway 62 has been completely cut off for the past several days, with over 40,000 people affected. South Garo Hills, along with Indo-Bangla border, has witnessed multiple landslides, and many areas like Maheshkola and Siju remain without any road link. At least 6 bridges, including suspension and wooden bridges, have been washed away in the district, with mobile and electricity connections disrupted. Electricity connection has been disrupted in a number of villages. Officials informed the Chief Minister during the review meeting that restoration work is currently underway. Indian Air Force on Tuesday late afternoon airlifted essential commodities at Siju and Maheshkola. Altogether, 30 villages have been cut off from the district headquarters of Bagmara.
Support in any way administratively we need to give, we will give. We don't have to worry about any of the other factors. So financially also we will go all out to ensure that.
We just completed our meeting in Bagmara to review the overall situation of the flood in South Garo Hills, and we've taken a review about the PWD road connectivity, the power connectivity.
Mizoram University today declared BA, BSc, BCom, BSc, Home Science and professional courses including BA, MCA, BSW, BBA results. The overall pass percentage is 86.8%, pass percent in Bachelors of Arts is 85.56%, in Science stream it is 91.3%, and in Commerce it is 96.31%. Zirtiri Science College student Lalpar Vuli is the science topper, and Lalmal Saumi Government Rangbawa is the gold medalist in Commerce. Lalrem Kimi from Government Zirtiri Residential Science College is gold medalist in Home Science. Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad Sangma today paid his tributes to the founding father of the Khasi alphabet, Reverend Thomas Jones. Sangma wrote in his Twitter handle that the Khasi alphabet in the Roman script and the establishment of the Sora dialect as the common language of Khasi and Jaintia Hills remains his legacy and contribution to the tribes and the people of Meghalaya. Still in Meghalaya, the Art and Culture Department is mulling to erect a life-size statue of freedom fighter U Tirot Singh in Dhaka in the Indian Embassy complex. Informing this, the Minister in charge of Arts and Culture Department, Sanbor Shulai, said he will write to the Indian Embassy in Dhaka, and once the place is finalized and a green signal from the Ministry of External Affairs is received, he will go personally to the Bangladesh capital to inspect the area. In Assam, thousands of devotees and sadhus have gathered at the Kamakhya temple in Guwahati for the Ambubachi Mela that started today. The Mela is celebrated during the monsoon in the belief of goddess Kamakhya going through her annual menstruation cycle at this time. The temple remains closed for 3 days starting from the 7th day of the Ahar month of the Hindu calendar until the 10th day as part of the traditional seclusion during menstruation. The doors ceremonially open on the 12th day and a huge fair takes place in the temple premises. There were no Ambubachi celebrations in the Kamakhya temple for the last 2 years because of the COVID-19 pandemic. However, as there are no COVID restrictions this year, the Mela today made a grand return. Union Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports Anurag Singh Thakur was the chief guest at the Dharamshala stopover of the first ever Chess Olympiad torch relay ceremony this morning. The historic torch relay was launched by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the IG Stadium in New Delhi on June 19. The Chess Olympiad torch will be relayed across 75 cities in India, commemorating the occasion of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, celebrating 75 years of India's independence. In his speech, the minister said chess in India has a long heritage. For the first time in the history of the Chess Olympiad, India is hosting the event, and what better occasion than Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. In Assam, Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma today unveiled a plaque to mark laying of foundation stone for Oil India Limited's Officer cum Skill Development Institute in Guwahati. The institute will be built at a cost of 200 crore rupees on a plot of 5 bigha land given by the government of Assam on a long-term lease. He said the new initiative will not only expand oil's business but also promote skilled youth to aid economic growth and ultimately help realize Prime Minister Narendra Modi's dream of a skilled India. Union Minister of State for Petroleum and Natural Gas Rameshwar Teli was also present on the occasion.
যি এটা সুন্দৰ ভৱনৰ পৰিকল্পনা কৰা হৈছে তাৰ বাবে মই অইল ইণ্ডিয়াক ধন্যবাদ জনাইছো। আজি আমি সকলোৱে জানো যে প্ৰধানমন্ত্ৰী নৰেন্দ্ৰ মোদী ডাঙৰীয়াই আমাৰ যুৱ সমাজৰ মাজত
In Meghalaya, the state government, aided by the World Bank, has sanctioned an amount of over 98 crore rupees for upgradation and improvement of the Nongstoin-Mawait road. The road covers a distance of around 35 kilometers, but the road project funded by the World Bank will cover a distance of only 23 kilometers. For more updates, viewers can also watch our bulletins and other programs on our YouTube channel DD News Guwahati. To end the news, the main points once again. BJP-led NDA nominates former Jharkhand Governor Draupadi Murmu as its presidential candidate. UPA nominee is Yashwant Sinha. Political crisis deepens in Maharashtra. Rebel Shiv Sena leader Eknath Shinde now camping in Guwahati with MLAs on his side. Flood havoc continues in Assam and Meghalaya. Relief package on the card, says Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma. Mizoram University declares results of undergraduate exams. And Meghalaya government to install statue of freedom fighter U Tirot Singh at Indian Embassy in Dhaka. That brings us to the end of this evening's bulletin. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.